All right, so here's a tutorial for our homework this weekend. You have page 8, which is significant figures. You have to pretty much determine the significant figures. All right, you have to follow the rules that we discuss in school. And I'm just going to do just the first 4. So A, B, C, and D with you. If you look at the first one, you have 6.571 grams. One of the rules states that all numbers between 1 and 9 are always going to be significant. So that means that the 6, the 5, the 7, and the 1, all of them are going to be significant. So you have 4 significant figures here. Okay, right. You have letter B. It says 0.157 kilograms. Um, I believe that rule number 2 says that leading zeros are not significant. That 0 there then is going to not be counted. Okay, you're not counting that 0 there. That being said, then only the 1, the 5, and the 7 are significant. So you are having 3 sig figs there. Okay, so you have 3 significant figures there. Then if you look at letter C, okay, let me erase this because this is so small. The space is so small in my um, computer. If you look at letter C, you have 28.0. Now, one of the rules says that zeros are only going to be significant if there is the presence of a decimal point, right? So you have 28. Do you have that decimal point right there in between the 8 and the 0? So that means that that 0 is also going to be significant. So if that is the case, then I have 3 significant figures because the 2, the 8, and the 0 are significant. So I have 3 significant figures there. Okay, let's look at letter D. Letter D, you have 2,500 meters. Okay, can you look at this here and you just say, wait, okay, one of the rules says that zeros are only going to be significant if there's the presence of a decimal point. We don't have a decimal point there. There's no decimal point there. So that means that those 2 zeros, right, these zeros are not going to count. So I only have 2 sig figs there, all right, because those zeros at the end won't count. There's no decimal point there. Okay, now let's look at letter F, and that will be the last one that I'm going to be doing. So you can go back to your notes and check your rules, right? But basically, okay, so you have letter E, no, F, F. There is a rule that says that zeros that are sandwiched in between numbers will be significant. Okay, so you have to count those zeros as well. So you have the 3, and those both zeros are counting, and then the 7. So you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 sig figs here. Okay. Um, Let me do E for you just for the sake of just going from A through F, and you do the rest. E, you have 0.07, and all those zeros behind the 7. Well, guess what? We have few rules that are going to apply there. First of all, those zeros, these zeros that are here, are going to be considered leading zeros. So those zeros you don't count. Okay? You don't count them. So those are out of the way. Now, if you look at this number, you have that decimal there. So that means that there's a decimal present. So these zeros that are behind that 7 has to count. You have to count them. So how many sig figs do you have? You are going to have then the 7, this 0, all of these zeros, you're going to count. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the right answer here is 6 significant figures. All right. Please, please, please make sure that you check your notes. In your notes, we went over the rules step by step. You have some example. So just follow that. You know, follow the examples and do your very best. And if you have any questions, then we will meet. All right.